Hi friends, hope you are doing well. I'm Dr. Ganguly. Welcome to my channel. So today we are going to discuss a pretty famous scholarship, and that is the Rhodes Scholarship. It's one of the oldest scholarship in the world. It started out in 1902, and essentially it gives you money to study in the University of Oxford as a postgraduate student. So essentially you need to have a bachelor's degree to get this scholarship. So let's look at some of the details about this scholarship. Now, when many people hear of the Rhodes Scholarship, they get very scared. They think this scholarship is not for them, that it is only for geniuses or elite people or those from the top universities in the world and so on. But I can tell you that this is not true. There are a lot of scholarships given out each year. In fact, more than 100 Rhodes Scholars are there each year, and it's given to people from various countries around the world, from various departments, and from a plethora of universities. So it's not just that top ranked university students get the Rhodes Scholarship. Students from around the world get Rhodes Scholarship, and there is a lot of premium put on diversity and inclusion in awarding this scholarship. Now, what does this scholarship let you do? It essentially lets you come to the UK for a 2-year period and do postgraduate study at the University of Oxford. Now, the University of Oxford is one of the most renowned universities in the world. In any ranking, it comes up within the top 1 to 5. Many times it comes as the top 1 or 2 of the universities around the world. So it's a pretty diverse university in terms of the number of courses it gives. So you can study physics, you can study computing, you can study literature, you can study philosophy, you can study political science, and of course you can study English in case you want to learn more about the English language. Now let's see some of the things which this fellowship provides with you. It provides you with the Oxford University course fees. It gives you an annual stipend of about £20,000 per year. Now this amount is enough to cover your expenses in the UK in terms of the accommodation you need, in terms of your food bills and so on. But they do mention explicitly that this money is not enough to bring dependents or family. So essentially they are presuming you are going there as a single student or as a bachelor student. So you have a bachelor's degree and they assume that you are a bachelor too. Now, in case you are somebody who wants to do a PhD, they provide you up to 3 years of fees and stipend. So this is an interesting part which is hidden somewhere in their write-ups, and you can take advantage of this if you are somebody who wants to do a PhD. Now, beside this money, they also provide you with money to get a student visa. They provide you with healthcare facilities through the National Health Service in the United Kingdom, and they also provide you with 2 economy class flight tickets back and forth from your home country to the UK. There is also some money given to you for settling into the United Kingdom, and also they will provide you money for any expenses you need for visa renewal and so on. So essentially these are one of the few scholarships which take care of you completely as a student. You can essentially focus on your studies, on your academic activities, meeting other Rhodes Scholars, and also going to the Rhodes House and interacting with your fellow scholars. Now, I should tell you that the person who started this, Cecil John Rhodes, is a somewhat controversial figure in history, because the history of Britain does include an imperial past which is not necessarily liked by all people concerned. But then I would say the Rhodes Scholarship does try to ameliorate some of this imperial past by trying to increase the diversity of the global leaders who are out there. So let's look at the application procedure. Now essentially they are looking for young leaders from around the world who want to study at Oxford University, forge bonds of mutual understanding and fellowship for betterment of mankind. So like many such fellowships, the aims of this fellowship are very big. They are of course trying to see that you have big ambition at this stage. Of course, the academic record which you have should be good, because remember, you are going to study at the University of Oxford, and if you want to successfully complete your postgraduate program, you need to be pretty good in studies because you will have colleagues and classmates who are very good. So keep that in mind. But it is not only for being good in class. So just because you are the topper in your class in terms of your CGPA doesn't mean that it is sufficient to get the Rhodes Scholarship. In fact, they are looking for all-rounders. They are looking for people who have energy to use their talent. So essentially, if you have participated in sports, in music, in theater, in art, in debate, any kind of team situation, it is going to be good because they are trying to spend this money, which is obviously limited, to groom people who are going to be the future leaders of tomorrow. Now, Rhodes Scholars have gone on to become famous politicians such as Bill Clinton. They have gone on to become Nobel Prize winners and so on. Now, sometime when people look at people who have got Rhodes Scholarship long time ago, they think this is not for me. But do remember that all these people were graduate student once, and so don't get intimidated by the current rank or status of the Rhodes Fellows of the past. Now, some more things which are there about this scholarship which will help you figure out how you need to write your statement of purpose and so on are dedication to truth. You need to have courage, you need to have devotion, you need to have sympathy, kindness, unselfishness, and so on. So essentially, I would suggest that if you are doing a bachelor's degree, take some time off to work in non-profits, look at your heart and see what are the things you want to do from the education which you are getting. So don't just look at your studies as reading books and getting grades, but think beyond that. Think into the impact your education has into the society, into the culture, into making the world a better place and so on. Because do remember that there are a large number of important problems in the world, such as climate change, such as water scarcity, infectious diseases, women's empowerment, and so on. And these problems are not going to be solved by easy solutions, and so people need to give their mind to some of the solutions of these problems. Now, of course, you need to give your statement of purpose or a personal statement, and if you go to the web page of this Rhodes Scholarship, I'm going to provide a link in the description box. There is a section where you can enter all your details and see if you are eligible for the scholarship. And for this, you have to first pick the country concerned and then go and fill in all the blanks. Now, do remember that there is an application process here and then there is a interview process. So I think many people who are generally good, who are good all-rounders, who can get good letters of references from their professors, they are going to make it here. And of course, do keep in mind to build some skills which are outside your curriculum. So extracurricular skills are important. Any kind of experience in non-profits, in doing social work is going to be very useful here. And do remember that during the interview, they are going to ask you questions which are more general in nature. So don't shy away on thinking on big political questions, on economic questions, and so on. So they may ask you about your views on migration, for example, or your views on climate change, or what would you do to solve certain big problems in your country and in the society. And so you need to have answers to these questions which are well thought out. You should not stumble because you are suddenly thrown a complex question here. So what I would say is that during your college days, don't only study, do take part in different activities. Make sure that you read some of the important magazines in your field. You look at the important TV programs. You are familiar with the current things which are going on in the world. You have a good feeling about things such as human rights, about climate change, about democracy, about the importance of democracy, about the importance of multiculturalism, and so on. So this is certainly going to help you. They are not going to judge you on your accent. In fact, maybe if you have a British accent, that may not even help you too much. So you can acquire your British accent when you go to the University of Oxford. Now, just to mention the fact that more than 100 Rhodes Scholarships are given out each year, and I would say that because diversity is an important element here, I find that many of the Rhodes Scholars tend to be women, and they are also people who are not necessarily from the elite background and may not even be the toppers in their class. So if you are from some country where you feel you are a marginalized person, but you have a lot of ideas which can contribute, then you should certainly apply for the Rhodes Scholarship, because they are trying to see how this course is going to help you become a much better person. So in fact, for some people, the level of jump which they can get by getting such a scholarship is very substantial. So if you are somebody who needs this kind of big jump in your life, then the Rhodes Scholarship is going to be very useful for you. And one of the things which is going to help you throughout your life is the network which you develop here, because you are going to know a large number of people from many countries around the world, and these people are likely to become the future leaders in the coming couple of decades, and they are going to have a big impact on the world. So you never know, you may be friends with some former president or some former Nobel Prize winner, or I would say current Nobel Prize winner and president also. So keep these things in mind. When I was a bachelor degree student, I had no idea about the existence of these scholarships. I came to know about them later. And this is because many people working or studying in different universities around the world may not know about such scholarships. And they may think that these scholarships are only for people studying in Harvard or Stanford or some of these universities, but they are not. Even if you are studying in a state university or in any college around the world, you can aspire for the Rhodes Scholarship. So if you have obtained the Rhodes Scholarship or you would like to obtain the Rhodes Scholarship, do leave some comments below this video. And also if you have any suggestions, please mention them also. I will try to respond to the comments as soon as possible. So I will end this video now, and I will see you in a video sometime soon, and best wishes for the Rhodes Scholarship.